Boys and girls, today our lesson is that we're going to be able to, our goal is that we're going to be able to use a checklist while writing your supporting paragraphs. So far, we should have our intro done, a supporting paragraph, and then today you're going to work on those final 2 supporting paragraphs. Our goal is to have all 3 supporting paragraphs by the end of the day. And yes, because internet is down, we are going to be using paper pencils. We've already said just writing in our notebooks, which is fine because we have created a thesis statement. And then we have those claims written. Specifically, to look at our reasons, which are our supporting paragraphs, I want you to take a look at elaboration and craft today. And I want you to read silently to yourself these, I think there's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 expectations of you for elaboration and craft. So please read through those. Not right now, but I'm not trying to mini lesson. Read silently, elaboration and craft. Some people from my last hour, what they were doing is they were taking their pencil and they were circling key words that they realized they didn't have in their supporting paragraphs that they needed to add. So, like I see Ichel over here, she grabbed a pencil, she's looking through some things that maybe she realized that she does not have in her supporting paragraphs. As you're reading, you're thinking, do I have this in my first supporting paragraph? What do I need to add to make my paper all in the yes column? I want you to share with somebody next to you what were some things you noticed that need to be in our supporting paragraphs that maybe you don't have or you didn't think about putting in a supportive paragraph for an argumentative essay. Okay. Go ahead and tell somebody. What did you do to have?
What?
Okay. Okay, so because it's a formal paper. All right, good. Okay, I heard a couple of you. I know I didn't give you a whole lot of time to discuss, but I want to make sure that we get through this. So, what were some things that you and your neighbor discussed about some things you noticed that were in this paper that need to be on the other papers? What were some things that you noticed that was maybe new or different? Go ahead.
We noticed that we needed to use more transition words.
Okay, great. So that was even on part of this other checklist to make your paper flow. Great. Transition words. What else?
I didn't know that you needed like argue different word choices for each thing.
Exactly. You need to choose your words carefully. They have an effect on your reader. We talked about that in our introduction, how don't just give things away and say she lost her home. Maybe say they stole her security. And then that makes your readers really involved and when you're thinking about word choices. Jesse, what was something you talked about?
That I need to make my piece sound serious.
Perfect. So when we're looking at this is a very formal piece of writing. It's unlike your narrative and where you had some freedom to kind of add your own voice and be silly with it in a way. It was more informal. With this argumentative piece, you do have some freedom in being creative in your writing, but it does need to sound a lot more formal than our narrative writing. Okay, so with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a couple examples. We're going to look at 2 real quick. The first one, we're going to take a look at, I'm going to read this to you, and I want you to think, does this person meet all of those things in elaboration and craft? Right down the row. Do they talk about their word choices carefully? Do they, we'll go through these, give several types of evidence? Okay, are they serious in their writing? So let me read this to you real carefully. It says, and follow along. Jiling Zhang learns that people in charge are not always rational because the Red Guards destroy people's houses. I say this because the Red Guards always go to other people's houses and just do whatever they want. They destroy, tear it up, go through, and they always do whatever they want. Can you believe this? I tell you what, somebody better take care of those fools. For example, the Red Guards went into Jiling's house and tore everything up. So now this is thumbs up. Yes, they got it. Starting to, no, they don't have it at all. And we're going to go through just a few of these together so you understand how to use a checklist. Okay, I included and arranged a variety of evidence, such as facts, quotations, examples and definitions? Where's your meter at? Some say not at all, some say, okay, yeah. More on the not at all side. I don't see any quotations to prove their claim. I don't see any of that. By the way, this is the first supporting paragraph. It's not their introduction. We all get that, right? This is a supporting paragraph. We don't know what their introduction is because I haven't put it on here. This is a supporting paragraph, okay? Just so you know, it's their first supporting paragraph. Okay. So, yeah, they don't have any quotes. They kind of gave an example and just said that the Red Guards tore their house up, but they didn't really give a quote. Okay. When it says I use trusted sources and information from experts, we're going to save that one for whenever we really do more of a informational, research-based, argumentative essay. This is a thematic. It's a theme-based essay. So what is our source that we're using? Yeah, it's the memoir. Okay, that's the only source we're really using unless you research something else on the internet to help you find out about the Red Guards or what four olds are. How about that they work to explain how reasons and evidence gave support and it strengthened the claim? He says, and here he says, I say this because, but does he ever tell us that this is significant because, or this quote proves my claim because? There's nothing like that. So where are they at on the, yes, they got it. Not, okay. How about I chose my words carefully to support my argument to have an effect on my reader? Kinda, he tried to get us in, like they destroy, tear it up, go through, and they always do whatever they want. So I can see he's kind of reaching for that. How about, this is important, when necessary, I explain terms to my readers, providing definition, context clues, or parenthetical explanations. Now, he may have in his introduction explained who the Red Guards are. We don't know. But it is really important that your readers understand background information. You have to give background information to help your readers understand what quote are you giving evidence for, and give me the background information on that. If you mention four olds, I'm going to want to put in parentheses the definition of a four-old, or maybe explain that four olds are this. So it's really important that you help your readers understand what is the background information on things. Okay, and how about I made this piece sound serious? This is very informal. Can you believe it? I tell you what, somebody better take care of those fools. Okay, so it needs to be a little bit more formal. Let me show you an example of somebody who did a great job in their writing. And I want to read to you to show what I'm looking for in their writing. So it says, Jiling, just follow along as I read, Jiling Zhang learns that people in charge are not always rational because the Red Guards stole her security. Notice they didn't just say they destroyed her home. They said they stole her security. For example, the Red Guards were pounding on the door demanding to search the house. Here's my background information. Jiling's dad tried to reason with the leader, but he had to step aside and let the Red Guards invade their house. All background information. Then I give my quote. Jiling writes how the Red Guards demanded, search! She cut off Dad with a shouted order and shoved him aside into the house. Then she explains why she used the quote. This shows that Jiling had to let her house be invaded and she had to surrender to these bad and rude people who are destroying homes. This is significant because if it had not happened, Jiling may not have felt as if her safety had been torn away from her and her family. So notice how not only am I just giving a quote, but I'm explaining why I use that quote, why it's significant. Okay, so those thought prompts, and we've done this before with Raymond's Run. I will leave this up here to help you if you want to use these thought prompts to kind of get you moving and thinking about why I'm picking this quote, why I'm giving this background information, and saying why it's important. Okay, so your goal today, like I said, is to finish those paragraphs. If you have questions or you feel like you need help, you can stay at the floor with me. Otherwise, the rest of you can go ahead and get started.